Tonight, the Trump agenda is on the ballot.
The Wisconsin Supreme Court, it's not an arm of the Trump administration.
President Trump is in this to help me out.
He doesn't care about their issues. He's running to serve Trump.
With Republicans' razor-thin margin in the U.S. House and control over the Supreme Court in a key swing state, all at stake. First up, in Florida, one special House election gets unexpectedly competitive.
We want to put up big numbers for President Trump.
As Democrats spend big in ruby red territory.
Why are Republicans panicking in deep red districts?
Putting Republicans and Trump on edge.
We have a slim margin. We don't want to take any chances.
And in the contest for Wisconsin's highest court, Elon Musk takes center stage.
It may not seem that it's going to affect the entire destiny of humanity, but I think it will.
Is the MAGA movement working for swing state voters?
This is a turnout race.
Or are Democrats ready to win?
Elon Musk, he's the guy who's trying to buy an election.
CNN Election Night starts right now.
And right now, 2 seats in the narrowly divided House of Representatives are on the line tonight. It is an important new test of President Donald Trump's political strength, along with a high-stakes race, to say the least, in battleground Wisconsin to determine whether liberals or conservatives will control the state Supreme Court. It has become the center of everything tonight. Welcome to all as we kick off CNN's election night coverage. I'm Erin Burnett.
And I'm Dick Tapper on this special edition of The Lead. We're about an hour away from the first results on the first major election night since President Trump returned to the White House. In the hours ahead, we could learn a lot about voter reaction to the president's aggressive second-term agenda and whether that's giving Democrats any opportunities to bounce back. The highest profile race is that fight for control of the Wisconsin Supreme Court, not only a measure of Trump's popularity in a battleground state that he narrowly won last year, it's also a potential verdict from voters on Elon Musk and the political power he has been wielding. The world's wealthiest man has spent tens of millions of dollars to try to flip the Wisconsin High Court's majority from liberal to conservative, putting him at the center of the race and helping to make it the most expensive judicial contest in American history. Musk arguing that the very future of civilization is riding on the outcome of this race. A win for liberal judge Susan Crawford would give Democrats new hope on capitalizing on voter anger at Musk and Trump. A victory for conservative judge Brad Schimmel could signal that Wisconsin voters support Trump, Musk, and Republicans in general. Also at stake tonight, the balance of power in the U.S. House of Representatives at a moment when Republicans are feeling anxious, shall we say, about their very narrow majority. 2 Republican seats are at stake in tonight's Florida special election. Seats left open after Trump tapped former Congressman Mike Waltz to serve as his national security advisor, and after Matt Gaetz left Congress to briefly be Trump's nominee for Attorney General. Now, both parties are closely watching the contest for Waltz's seat on northeastern Florida. Democrat Josh Weil running a more competitive race than expected in Florida's deep red 6th congressional district, which is from just south of St. Augustine down to South Daytona and west almost to Ocala. His GOP opponent, a state legislator named Randy Fine, has drawn sharp criticism from Republicans about his candidacy and his fundraising. Governor Ron DeSantis is one of those critics after Fine switched his support from DeSantis to Trump during the 2024 Republican primary. Our correspondents are standing by in Florida and in Wisconsin and, of course, here in Washington, D.C., as we would cover all of these races from every angle and await the first results after the top of the hour. Let's go first to CNN's Caitlin Collins is at the White House. Caitlin, is Trump world feeling nervous at all about election night? Welcome back as we get closer to the very first results on this very first major election night since last November. Just minutes from now, voting will end in the special House election in Florida's 6th congressional district. That's in northwestern Florida. This will be a chance for voters to weigh in on President Trump's second term as they choose a replacement for former Congressman turned Trump National Security Advisor Mike Waltz. Democrat Josh Weil, a teacher and political A newcomer is going up against the now former Republican State Senator Randy Fine. This contest more competitive than expected. It's in the Daytona Beach area district that President Trump won by about 30 points, offering a glimmer of hope to the struggling Democratic Party. Both parties tracking closely the razor-thin divide in the House of Representatives. The GOP holds a 218 to 213 edge over Democrats. There are 4 vacancies heading into this evening. 2 of them will be filled this evening. Where will the balance of power stand when the night is over? We do expect the very first votes to come in shortly after the top of the hour. The polls close at 7 p.m. Eastern. It is 6:52 right now. There is another countdown on our radar, this one over on Capitol Hill. Senator Cory Booker, Democrat of New Jersey, is getting closer and closer to a historic moment. That is not him in the image that we're showing you there, right there. But Senator Booker is on track to set a new record for the longest floor speech ever in the history of the United States Senate. That would be just minutes from now at 7:19. He will achieve that record. Voting is about to end in the very first big race of the night. That's the special House election in Florida's 6th congressional district in northeastern Florida on the coast there. Can Democrats make any inroads in Trump County? We are going to bring you a key race alert in about 5 seconds. We will bring that to you. And here's the key race alert. It's too early to call. Right now, if you look at this, between the Democrat and the Republican, we do not have enough information to tell you exactly what the likelihood is of either candidate winning. Right now, just to remind you, Democrats have 213 House seats. Republicans have 218 House seats. It's a very narrow majority for Republicans right now. For more on the race in Florida's 6th congressional district, let's go live to our Steve Contorno in Daytona Beach in the southern part of the Florida 6th congressional district. Steve, what can you tell us about turnout in this election? Do Republicans... All right, fascinating stuff, David Chalian. And now we have a key race alert for you because we are actually getting real votes and states like Arizona might want to pay attention to this. Florida knows how to actually count their ballots as they come in. The very first votes are coming in. 23% of the estimated vote in. And Democrat Josh Weil has 53.3% of the vote. Republican Randy Fine has 45.7% of the vote. Weil is just over 3,500 votes ahead of Randy Fine. Again, that's with less than a quarter, 23% of the vote in. John King, let me ask you, I am guessing that a lot of this vote is coming in from more Democratic parts of the district?
On you, but we have a key race alert. So, Jake, what do you got?
Thanks, Aaron. We have a key race alert because we have more votes coming in from Florida's 6th congressional district. Democrat Josh Weil has 50.8% of the vote. Republican Randy Fine has 48.6% of the vote. You see, as more votes coming in, Randy Fine just flipped it. He is now in the lead there, 50.6% of the vote, and the Democrat Josh Weil 48.6%. As the vote count went from 46% of the estimated vote in to 49% of the estimated vote in. Randy Fine now in the lead. He is more than 2,000 votes ahead. And John King, I see a lot more red on that map you have there of Florida's 6th congressional district. So more votes have come in. Welcome back, and CNN can now make a projection in the Florida special election in the 6th congressional district. CNN projects that Republican Randy Fine will defeat Democrat Josh Weil. This is in the special election for the 6th congressional district in Florida. We're projecting that Fine will defeat Weil, despite concerns within the Republican Party about Fine's campaigning and fundraising. Fine, a former state senator, holding on to the seat previously held by Republican Mike Waltz, who is now President Trump's national security advisor. Before Waltz, the seat was held by Ron DeSantis, the current governor. The win gives Trump's party a little more breathing room in the closely divided House of Representatives. The GOP now holding a 219-seat majority compared to 213 seats for the Democrats. 3 vacancies still remain to be filled, one of them tonight. Let's take a look at the margin right now. Randy Fine in the lead with 53.7% of the vote against Democrat Josh Weil, who has 45.6%. That's 73% of the estimated vote counted. Randy Fine, almost 12,000 votes ahead. John King, what do you? Oh, look at that! A lot more red has shown up on that map of Florida's 6 since we last spoke. I guess some of those early votes weren't indicative of where the counties ultimately would end up. And welcome back. We are just minutes away from the end of voting in another U.S. House special election in Florida, this one to replace the scandal-plagued former Republican congressman and ill-fated Attorney General nominee Matt Gaetz. The Democratic candidate is named Gay Vallimont. She's an athletic trainer and gun violence prevention activist who challenged Gaetz in November and lost handily. The Republican candidate is Jimmy Patronis, the former chief financial officer for the state of Florida. We expect the first votes in that race to drop in about 5 minutes. We're also awaiting results in the marquee contest of this evening, and that is the battle for control of the state Supreme Court in the critical battleground state of Wisconsin. Elon Musk, the so-called first buddy, has poured lots of money and lots of energy in support of the Trump-backed Republican-leaning, I guess, or conservative candidate, hoping to flip the court majority, put conservatives in charge of that court. Liberals are now in charge of it. The outcome could be a telling referendum on the extraordinary political power President Trump has and the popularity he has, and also the power that he has given to Elon Musk. All of this playing out. At the same time, the Democratic Senator Cory Booker of New Jersey is trying to send a message of his own, speaking against President Trump's agenda for more than 24 hours. He has now made history. He has broken the Senate record for the longest floor speech, a record set in 1957. And Senator Booker is still going. Let's bring in CNN's Caitlin Collins at the White House. And Caitlin, do we know if Cory Booker's marathon speech, his history-making speech, is on the radar at all in Trump world at the White House? Thanks, Caitlin. Polling places are closing in the western panhandle of Florida in that special election to replace former Republican Congressman Matt Gaetz. Every seat, of course, is crucial given the GOP's narrow majority in the U.S. House of Representatives. The key race alert right now is that it is too early to call between Vallimont and Patronis in the race to succeed Matt Gaetz in Florida's 1st congressional district. Too early to call. The balance of power, because we have called Florida's 6. Republicans have 219 votes. Democrats have 213. There are 3 vacancies. Florida 1 is one of those vacancies.
Just look at Florida also for a second here. The race for the House 1 seat gave Vallimont right now in the lead, 1,759 votes ahead, 37% of the vote in to Jimmy Patronis, who has 48.2%. I'm sorry.
Welcome back. We have a key race alert for you now in that other House race in Florida, Florida's 1st congressional district on the Panhandle. The polls just closed there. And as we've told you before, in Florida, they know how to count the votes, and they know how to do it pretty quickly. Already 74% of the estimated vote is in. And Republican Jimmy Patronis is up with 52.6% of the vote over Democratic activist Gay Vallimont, who has 46.6% of the vote. Patronis with 7,146 vote lead right now. That's not a huge lead for this district, but it is a lead. It's interesting, John, because this is another R+30 district where it looks like the Republican will likely win, but not by 30 points. We do now have a projection in the special House election in Florida's Western Panhandle, the 1st congressional district. CNN is projecting that Republican Jimmy Patronis will win the House race in Florida's 1st congressional district. He will defeat Democrat Gay Vallimont. Patronis is the state's former chief financial officer, holding on to the seat previously held by Republican Matt Gaetz in Ruby Red, Panhandle, Florida. The Republicans' narrow majority in the House just got a little bit wider, a little bit of breathing room. The GOP now has 220 House seats compared to 213 for House Democrats. There are 2 vacancies still that will be decided in future elections from deaths of 2 Democratic members of Congress. Dana Bash. nearing 9 p.m. Eastern. In just about 8 minutes, the voting ends in the most closely watched contest of the night, and that is the state Supreme Court race in battleground Wisconsin. This race will determine whether liberals stay in control of the highest court in that battleground state, or if it flips and conservatives take the majority. This is technically a nonpartisan race, but liberal Judge Susan Crawford is the candidate supported by Democrats, and conservative Judge Brad Schimmel is backed by President Trump, Elon Musk, and Republicans. Musk has inserted himself into this race in a major way, tapping into his fortune to try to influence the makeup of Wisconsin's high court, where he does, we should note, have a personal and business stake. There is a lawsuit involving Tesla pending in that state that could end up before the Wisconsin Supreme Court. Democrats are hoping that this race becomes something of a referendum on Elon Musk and controversies about him, his vast political power, and him cutting jobs from the federal government. Democrats, of course, trying to seek any sort of winning message in any future races. The first results in this high-stakes contest are coming up in just 7 minutes and 20 seconds. Now let's go to CNN's Arlette Saenz at Judge Susan Crawford's headquarters in Madison. Yeah, of course, Elon Musk now known for more controversial things than what he was known for in 2024, because, of course, he's been taking that chainsaw to the federal government, and some of those cuts have been very controversial. Voting is about to end across Wisconsin in an election that will determine ideological control of the state Supreme Court and test support for Elon Musk's political influence. And we have a key race alert for you now in battleground Wisconsin. It is too early to call in the state Supreme Court race. We are waiting for the very first results from Wisconsin, so we do not have anything for you yet.
Let's go back to Jake.
Thanks, Anderson. We have a key race alert for you now. The polls closed in Wisconsin about 11 minutes ago, and right now we have some votes. Not a lot, but conservative Brad Schimmel is ahead with 63.9% of the vote. Liberal Susan Crawford has 36.1% of the vote. Schimmel is up by 398 votes. Obviously, this is a mere scattering, a sampling of votes. John King, where is this? I don't know what you would call them. It's a little sprinkle, a little dusting of votes. A dusting of votes. Where are they coming from? Welcome back, and we have a key race alert. The votes are coming in, 7% of the estimated vote out of Wisconsin. And in that state Supreme Court race, the liberal judge, Susan Crawford, has taken a slight lead. She has 50.2% of the vote, with conservative Brad Schimmel with 49.7% of the vote. The judge from the Madison, Wisconsin area is 768 votes ahead, and I suspect it's going to be going back and forth with this very narrow margin as we continue. Only 7% of the vote in, and it is neck and neck. And we're back with another key race alert in the Wisconsin Supreme Court race. Liberal Susan Crawford, the judge from the Madison area, is in the lead with 56.8% of the vote. Conservative Brad Schimmel from the Milwaukee area has 43.2% of the vote. Crawford, with 43% of the vote in, has taken something of a hefty lead here with 134,141 votes of a lead. That's not nothing, but still we got a lot more votes to count. Not even half have been counted. Where are the votes coming in? Because this could help us determine whether or not this lead is likely to hold or not. Fascinating stuff. The Democratic-backed candidate maintaining, as of now, with less than half of the vote counted, a double-digit lead in that Wisconsin Supreme Court race. Coming up next, more votes. Reaction from the former Republican governor of Wisconsin, Scott Walker. Stay with us. All right, Arlette, thanks so much. And we have a key race alert for you right now. With more votes coming in, the liberal judge from Dane County, the Madison, Wisconsin area, Judge Susan Crawford is in the lead with 57.7% of the vote. She is leading the conservative judge from Waukesha County, Brad Schimmel, who has 42.3% of the vote. Judge Crawford with a 181,972 vote lead. This is with more than half the vote in, 51% of the estimated vote in. And John King, right now, again, it's 52% now. In the last 5 seconds, we updated it. But her lead narrowed a little from 181,000 to 175,000. Again, how much of this lead are we to believe is sustainable as the other 48% comes in? Indeed, John, because we now have a major projection to make. CNN projects that the liberal judge from Dane County, Judge Susan Crawford, will win the Wisconsin Supreme Court race, keeping control of the court in the hands of liberal judges and defeating conservative Judge Brad Schimmel, who had the backing of President Trump, Elon Musk, and Republicans. Crawford's win gives her supporters in the Democratic Party a significant victory after they worked to turn this contest into a referendum on both President Trump and Elon Musk, who had deep involvement in this race. Democrats obviously trying to harness voter anger about Musk's role in slashing the federal government and about the Trump administration in general. Let us go to Arlette Saenz, who is in, I can tell she's in Madison, at Crawford headquarters. Arlette, obviously a lot of cheers there at CNN's projection.
And welcome back. A big win for the Democratic-backed candidate in the Wisconsin Supreme Court race. Liberal Judge Susan Crawford leading by over 165,000 votes compared to President Trump's just over 29. Excuse me. The other judge's 29,000 vote lead. Excuse me. I'm messing this up. President Trump's just over 29,000 vote lead in November. She's leading in 8 counties that President Trump won.
Good evening. I'm Abby Phillip in Washington for a special edition of Newsnight. Let's get right to what America's talking about. Temperature check. The first elections in the second era of Donald Trump have Republicans celebrating and sweating. The party is going to keep 2 seats in their narrow House majority after special elections in Florida to replace Mike Waltz and Matt Gaetz. Democrats surprised analysts, though, by putting up a fight with both cash and energy in those districts that Trump won easily. But in the swing state of Wisconsin, a big blow to President Trump and Elon Musk, who spent plenty of time and tons of money campaigning for conservatives. The liberal judge, Susan Crawford, is projected to win the race to control the balance of power in that state's Supreme Court.
The enclave. A quick recap now of the first election night in this country during President Trump's second term. CNN projects that liberals will keep their majority on the Wisconsin Supreme Court as Circuit Court Judge Susan Crawford has beaten Brad Schimmel. That is President Trump's pick for the job. The race is officially nonpartisan. However, Crawford is a liberal judge, backed by Democrats. In Florida, CNN projects that Republican Jimmy Patronis will win the first House district race over Democrat Gay Vallimont. This is the seat that was vacated by Matt Gaetz. Former Florida State Senator Randy Fine is projected to fill the spot left by National Security Advisor to Trump, Mike Waltz. Those 2 wins mean the Republicans will hold on to their narrow House majority. It's expanded by 2 seats. In fact, though, the margins in those races tighter than what we saw in the presidential election just a few weeks ago.